Alrighty. Move on to part 5 of this review. Alright, scene 1, a private party. That same Saturday is a special day for someone else. A young woman has landed a great job. Finally, all those years of painful study and ungodly amount of college payments have borne fruit. April is now employed by the city. She'll work as a supervisor to building structures, but she hopes to quickly move on to bridges. Partially to annoy Marie, but she does love crossing them. She's staying over at Bea's apartment, sharing a bottle of wine while April calls up all of her friends. The ones who are able to get onto Skype really party it out. Games, talk, jokes. A girls' night online. As it nears 11 p.m., her friends head to bed with excited goodbyes and farewell kisses. Bea puts away the wine, pats April on the head, and heads in. April sits on the couch, pondering to herself. There's so much she can finally enjoy. No more study, no more exams. Just work in the field of her dreams. She can boss people around, other than Marie. Though it just won't feel the same. Once Marie's married, they won't have as much time together. April's certain that Marie will be preoccupied with Franc. She wonders why Marie has been so timid as of late. She's getting cold feet. She's been fairly open with Kevin as well. Maybe the old fire is reigniting. Whichever is her situation, April will support Marie. That is of no question. The light in Bea's bedroom clicks off. Sleepy by time for her good friend. She should as well, but there's still a little party to have all to herself. April pulls a little baggie from Tuesday. Out. Little baggie from Tuesday. Now's the time. The boss man said to use it all at once, according to Craig, a man who's been less than honest. Though, surely, he wouldn't be dumb enough to skimp with this. If it truly takes everything, then using any less wouldn't get her high. She'd take up the issue straight with the boss man. Since that's not the case, it's time for 3 ounces of fun. She'd prefer just a sample, but should trust the cowboy. Will trust the cowboy. He's got good senses on him, recognizing that he'd get a cut of her success. To recognize. April opens the bag and carefully lays out the powder. She gets most of it out. A few specks remain. No amount of shaking and scraping will get those out. I use out 3 times. I don't like that. Lays the powder in a line. It gets most of it out. Some remain. No amount of shaking and scraping will free them. Oh well, surely this is good enough. She leans over, exhales all the way. No, she exhales all the way, leans over. I keep forgetting where I put my commas. Exhales all the way, leans over, crams her nose right against the stuff, and inhales down the line. A rush hits at the spicy stuff and flames her nostrils. If it's anything like the other stuff... Alright, I used stuff twice. Spicy powder. If it's anything like the other stuff, she'll feel it in a few minutes. Hopeful, she sits, waiting. Scene 2. A call. The next morning, Marie wakes up and starts the coffee. Frank comes down, grabs a cup, heading off to the study. He has some research to do for Craig. Marie, too, has research. She sits on the couch with her laptop. She's going to be a manager. She needs to know how it works. Despite the votes of confidence from Kevin and her mom, she needs something to start with to give her the courage to ask Joe. She only gets 10 minutes when her phone rings. It's Bea. He's using her phone, that's why. A bit early for a call from her, but her sleeping hours are all over the place anyway. Marie answers and gets an unexpected voice. Marie? Oh god, I did high pitch for Marie. Kevin, where's Bea? She's in the ambulance with April. April? What? April's okay, we think. Something's happened to her. I spoke confidently, too. Something's happened to her. Bea found her frothing this morning. We don't know what happened. She called me, and I called the ambulance. He is frantic, so I'll let the two call go by. She's in the ambulance now. Bea's with her. I'm heading out now. It's going to Shambha's General. Marie is aghast. Panic shoots through her, yet her body remains frozen. Her mind stuck with the image of April unconscious on a gurney in a sleep-feeding van. Lights flashing, her friend disappearing. Kevin's voice snaps her back. A yell at this point. Marie, are you okay? Yes, I'm here. Why am I doing this at this time of day? Frank enters with a concerned look. He stares at the phone. Is that Kevin? Oh god, I don't remember how I talk with anyone. Is that Kevin? Nope. Alright, quick reversal. My name is Frank. I am here to speak with you. Is that Kevin? Alright, it's gonna sound like this regardless. Turns, tears streaming. April's hurt. I have to go. I have to go to her. Shaking almost uncontrollably. She's been poisoned, we think, because of the mouth frothing. Oh, well yes, frothing is a sign of eating something poisoned. And she has this bag of stuff next to her, bits of brown powder were inside. I don't know where she got it from. I think it's the cause. The doctors will find out. Yes, good that she is getting help. Marie, shall we go as well? I will drive, you breathe. Alright, I have to note that she's on speaker. Alright, Marie answers, puts it on speaker, gets an expert voice. Now Frank can actually hear what he's saying. Alright, we'll put an there to make this a bit more cohesive. Frank hugs Marie, patting her head. He walks her to the car. Marie, April will get through this. She has to. You're on the way. See you there. Hangs up. Scene 3. April's strife. Frank and Marie arrive quickly. He was a bit liberal in interpreting the lights. Marie spots Kevin's car in the lot. They walk in, and Frank asks for April's room, explaining the situation. We're guided to the 3rd floor, where they're met with Bea's sobbing face and Kevin's pensive look. Marie runs to Kevin, a hug and more tears. He rubs her back, attempting to soothe her. Bea just balls in her hands. Frank watches this exchange between Marie and Kevin, but says nothing. Kevin's and Frank's eyes meet. Frank just nods. Kevin nods back. Frank takes a seat beside Bea, placing a hand on her back. She leans right into him, blanketing his shirt with tears. They wait out here for 25 minutes. Frank and Kevin switch positions. Marie sits on the floor beside Frank. Kevin and Bea sit on the chair. It's plural. Sit in chairs. In the chat. Kevin strokes Bea's head and keeps her as calm as he can. Frank holds Marie close. The sobs have yet to stop. The doctor comes out of the room, a look of relief to greet the 4 friends. She is alive and stable. It was close, but this young woman found her in time. Can we? Of course. She's unconscious, but you can see her. The doctor opens the door and waits for them to enter. Bea waves Kevin away, shaking her head. Marie stands, with Frank supporting her. The 3 go inside. April is hooked up to an IV and a heart rate monitor. The doctor closes the door and checks her vitals. What's happened to her? Marie looks warily at the doctor. He returns this gaze with a relaxed face, but still a stern one. His voice is comforting, but that won't do much for Marie. She's had an allergic reaction, almost lucky, in fact. How was that lucky? She could have died. What do you mean? April here has taken a very dangerous substance. Snorted it, in fact. Drugs? Yes, we determined she snorted dawn flower. It's a potent, dangerous, and very illegal substance. Allergy? Yes, by some miracle she happens to be allergic to one of the compounds within dawn flower. Did I say yeah. Her body seized up before the rest of the stuff could do its damage. Marie takes a chair, pulling it up to the bed. She quietly sits, looking at April with severe worry. A stroke to the head. Another. Why, April? Why? That I cannot answer. There should be a comma there. Dawnflower is extremely dangerous. All it takes is 4 ounces to kill someone. So she took it enough to kill her, but her body reacted before this could happen? Not quite. We only found 3 ounces in her system. I surmise she knew the dosage from her dealer. Dawnflower is a very rare drug, given how deadly it is. Few are willing to sell it. It's bad street cred to kill your customers. Fewer still can afford the $1,500 per ounce price tag. She couldn't have learned this dosage anywhere else. Though, why anyone would sell it is... Did he try to kill you? It is very likely, I suppose. Comma. Unless by mere chance her dealer only had 3 ounces on him, in which case she lucked out immediately. Very lucky. Yes, she is quite fortunate to have survived. As to some of her questions, I think I have some other answers. What now? She also had a bottle on her. A baggie. No, the bottle was the Focusin. Of what? A bottle of Focusin. Another drug. This one far less serious. Focusin helps concentrate the mind, something college kids may use. However, it is still quite addicting. She's not showing the signs typical of a user. Perhaps she found a balance. Powder's in a bottle. I have garlic powder. That's fine. Oh, April. Well, I suppose this explains how April managed to study all of a sudden. Had enough to graduate. What's their motive, this Dawnflower? Not on her. Not on her. There was a baggie we found. A tiny one, just had some bits of brown powder. Dawnflower is brown in color. Likely that's the bag. Then it seems she took all she was given. To think, an allergy. It's almost funny. Kevin lets out a nervous chuckle. Marie looks at him, briefly annoyed. But she knows this is how he handles stress. She looks back to April. More head strokes to come. It's not actually funny, of course. Anytime I've heard of someone hospitalized for drugs, it's from overdosing. For her to just have an allergic reaction, this is so surprising. Yeah. The 3 remain silent for a bit. The doctor fills an IV sac and updates her clipboard. She should awaken within a few hours, but I wouldn't recommend having more than 1 person in here. Even though her allergy saved her, Dawnflower is still very much active. That's why she's hooked up like this. She should be more present mentally in a few days. When can I take her home? Well, no. I'll have her stay with me. Kevin, she's my best friend. I have a guest bedroom. I'll look after her. You can drop by whenever you... Marie's tense face turns deadly serious. Despite the cracks in her voice, the tone is strong. I guess my voice is cracking, so that's fitting. She looks straight into Kevin's eyes. She stays with me. That's final. Okay. Okay. I'll let you handle it. Do not worry. She will be in good hands, my friend. Frank briefly places a hand on Kevin's shoulder. A first for them. A moment of understanding between the two men, the former lover and the fiancée. As quickly as he placed it, Frank removes his hand and walks to Marie. He stands behind her, hands now gently resting on her shoulder. Then, in a day or so, we can release her in your care. I'll pay the bills on me. Then tomorrow we shall return for her. We'll set up the couch. We'll set up the couch. For now, best we let her rest. I'll have a nurse inform you when she's regained consciousness. Thank you, Doctor. One more thing. I have not informed the police of this. My concern is her well-being. If she wishes to come clean about her activities, I can write up a report. That won't be necessary. I'll imagine she won't want together. She won't want together at first. This can be discussed later. That's what I was going to say. Thank you, Doctor. Doctor nods, opening the door once more. They file out. The doctor has other patients to tend to, so we'll be leaving. He tells them a nurse will be by later. I already said that, didn't I? The nurse line is... where is that? Release her. The nurse will inform you. So that's actually been taken care of. I don't need that in there again. The three remaining return to Bea and update her. Bea's head sinks further into her hands. Only tears escape. I can semicolon that. Marie and Kevin comfort her, while Frank gets some coffees from the cafeteria. Here they remain for 2 hours. The coffee helps, but Bea won't have any. She's too lost. A nurse approaches, showing a kind face and soft voice, and speaking in a... April is awake now. We can allow one of you in at a time. Not too long, though. Kevin looks immediately at Marie. She meets his gaze and nods, standing up. Frank stays seated, waited for her return. As Marie approaches the room, she trembles, lips quivering, stomach turning. She covers her mouth with a hand. The other is quickly grasped by the nurse. The nurse waits for Marie to give the okay, then helps her inside. April's eyes are open, staring off into space. She doesn't move, not even responding to Marie's entry. The nurse takes Marie to the bed and sits her down. I should note that they should not expect April to be mentally operable. So let me adjust some of this stuff a little bit. So awake in a few hours, that's been noted. So that's fine. I'd say something about in a few days something's going to happen. Where is that? Alright, so awakened but present mentally. Okay, so that's all been taken care of. Take your time, but be careful. She's stable, but not in as good state. Kind words are best. Usually people in a situation can hear some of their surroundings. Of course, I'm her bestie. Then I'll be outside. I'll check back in after 30 minutes. The nurse makes her exit, quietly opening and shutting the door. Marie is now alone in that room, with her closest friend, dearest friend. Not that. A soulmate of sorts. She reminisces about their childhood, teen years, the bridge bombing incident, a small chuckle. Such dear memories, with many more to come. Marie will make sure of it. She reaches out and slowly strokes her best friend's head. April, Silent breathing.
It's Marie. It's Marie. You're in the hospital, but you're fine. You're okay now. You're safe.
Silent breathing. Don't worry, voice.
You know, I'm going to try to be like you. Successful and proud. No, I'm not going to get any college degrees. I'm going to ask Joe to let me be his right-hand manager. Isn't that exciting? And you have your new job in the city, aren't we? Aren't we just up and coming? Yeah, so we'll take this city by storm.
Marie's tears run river. She doesn't try to stop them. They just drop. Semicolon. April remains motionless, silently breathing, unmoved by anything, it seems. Her stare remains blank, not even a tilt of the head.
The Dawnflower, it hurt you so bad. We'll get you we'll solve this together, I promise you.
Mary manages to get that out before breaking down. Sniffling at every breath, she just lunges out and hugs April. Just lunges forward. The young woman is unresponsive. Only silent inhales and exhales. Marie remains in the room for a long time, just holding on to her friend. The nurse checks in a few times. She, too, tears up. A friend holding another in a dire hour. She gets too caught up in this stuff. Instead of entering the room, she just pops her head in briefly, doing her best not to interrupt. After a full hour of Marie holding April, the nurse informs her that time is up. Right, I have to adjust something when the nurse is introduced. One moment, this is up here. Alright, noting that she is a woman. Done. The door slowly opens. She audibly whispers that it's time to leave for today. There'll be more tomorrow, and she can go home with them as well. Marie begrudgingly leaves, covering her face as she exits. Franc walks up and takes her back. The other two pick up on her vibe and start tearing up anew. Bea stands, very shakily, trying to shamble over to the room. Kevin holds her back. The nurse, far too touched at this point, bends the rules a little. She takes Bea by the shoulders and guides her into the room. Bea manages to get through the door before nearly keeling over. Bea is very emotionally tied to her friends. She can't handle stress well, especially when it concerns them. She gave this a try, but the moment she saw April, she couldn't take another step. Once more, her head buries itself into her hands. The nurse holds her. Kevin walks up and takes his friend. Kevin drives Bea to his home. This is no time for her to be alone. Franc and Marie drive back. Marie is unconsolable, just lying on the couch and weeping. I have too many justs in here. Oh god, that rhymed with Justin Bieber. Alright. She sleeps here for the night, completely shut off from the world. Scene 4. April's Folly. The next afternoon, Franc and Marie pick up April. They've set up the common area for anything she'd need. The couch has plenty of extra pillows and blankets. Some apples sit on the table, along with some plates and napkins, and a bowl of pretzels apparently, in case she comes to and is hungry. Marie spoon feeds her applesauce. April is able to slowly, lazily chew, and eventually swallow. She can also use the restroom, but Marie needs to walk her to it and position her. Walk her in. She is aware enough of some things, but needs some tending. For the most part, though, she's unresponsive. Marie stays by her side the entire day and night, sleeping on the floor. The next morning, Marie is feeding April some cereal, lifting spoonfuls into her mouth. The next one heads in, but April's mouth doesn't open. Instead, her head moves, looking at the spoon. Marie jumps, dropping the spoon of cereal onto the table. A few tears stream. April reacted to something. Marie's overcome as her friend might be coming back. April slowly reaches for the spoon, missing it at first, but Marie places it into her hand. April loosely grasps it, then looks around, eyes searching for the cereal. I have it used a lot in here. Missing at first. Loosely grasps. Alright, Marie moves it wherever her eyes look. It still takes a minute. After a minute, she finds it, recognizing its presence. The spoon dips in and is pulled out, vertically. No cereal yet caught. April dips again and again. Marie takes April's hand, and helps her hold it level. Together, April ate her breakfast. This is a great development. In the afternoon, April is sitting on the couch, staring blankly. Marie is working on her laptop, frequently glancing at her friend. Without warning, April rises, turning to the side. Marie immediately places down her laptop and stands. April looks around. She slowly walks to the stairs. Marie reaches out to hold her, clutching gently. April instinctively takes the handrail. She steps cautiously. Marie understands this is just her brain taking a while to register each step. April hits some creaky stairs. She stops, looking down. Her foot moves over and presses, searching for a quiet spot. Marie guides her to the silent steps, concerned the noise is bothering her. Together, they make it up the stairs in 2 minutes. April continues on to the bathroom. She sits and does her business. Marie can't lose sight of her, so she stands outside, turned away. Can't leave April alone. April finishes and attempts to leave, but Marie stops her and guides her to the sink. She washes April's hands, who catches on fairly quickly, finishing the process herself. Good, Marie thinks. She's coming back more and more. For the evening, April lies on the couch. Marie is feeling better about April's condition, but is uncertain about leaving her unsupervised for the night. Franc reassures her. You can rest easy now. She can use the restroom on her own, and we left out food.
What if she wants something else?
I have some more work to do. I'll be in the study. If I hear anything, I'll help her.
I should really be...
No. Put finger on Marie's lips. You need sleep. The bags under your eyes have bigger bags. Get some rest. I'll take care of your friend.
If you say so. I'll be upstairs. Get me if you need anything at all.
Marie heads up the stairs. Franc goes to the study, leaving the door ajar. All is silent, except for the occasional keystroke in the study. April sits up, stretches, and looks over to the study. He won't be an issue, she thinks. She stands, very slowly and carefully stands. Then, slowly and carefully, stealths up the stairs. A quick think to recall the creaky spots she scouted earlier. Alright, I need to fix this. She takes a quick think to recall the creaky spots she scouted earlier. Then heads up. As careful as the first time. Her destination is the kitchen. Once up the steps, she hastens, heading for the drawers. They open and close as she searches, making a tiny bit of noise, but nothing Franc can notice from downstairs. However, it's not Franc she needs to be concerned with. Marie is not yet in bed. Still furtive about leaving April on her own, she is sitting at the top of the stairs. The sounds of movements in the kitchen are all too obvious, and a bit of surprise, as she'd have heard Franc coming up. Give that more present. Why would he be messing with the drawers, she thinks. A bad feeling comes over her, and a churning stomach. Marie makes her own stealthy approach, peering her head into the kitchen. The sight stuns her. April is moving with ease, not even holding onto the counter for support. Carefully she searches, a level of control Marie's not seen. She thinks to herself, was April faking this whole thing? Unable to react, Marie just watches in silence. Give Rivoli just a the place. After a half-dozen drawers, April finds what she's been seeking, a carving knife. With very fine movements, April returns downstairs without making a sound. Marie snaps back to reality, jostled by the sight of April holding a knife. She follows, not approaching. Staying far back, because following is approaching, technically. The closet door is visible from the top of the stairs. April opens and pilfers a jacket. The knife finds a comfy spot on the inside front breast pocket. She also borrows a pair of Marie's shoes. April gently opens the front door and shuts it just as quietly. Before it closes all the way, a quick glance at the couch, pausing in thought. Starts shutting it. It's not all the way closed at the end of this. She comes back in. Marie thinks she's staying. Oh, thank God. April grabs a bunch of coats and arranges them on the couch, enough to appear human in shape. She drapes over a blanket, sure to cover the head. Gentle pat as she turns to the door. This time she truly heads out. Alright, let's do that. This time to truly head out. Marie heads down and sees the arrangement on the couch. She's now in panic mode. April is fine and able. Clearly she's okay. But why take a knife and leave? The thought comes to mind in a flash. April lying dead in some unknown alley, a knife in her chest, and a laughing dealer sprinting away. April's going to kill him, but Marie has the worst feeling it'll be the opposite. She nearly sprints down the stairs, but stops, remembering that Franc is still in the study. Instead of getting him involved, she decides to handle this herself. One warm jacket, some shoes, her keys, and she's out the door. An attempt is made to quietly lock it behind. Her attempt to leave Franc out was quite futile. The ajar study door opens, Franc just on the other side. He'd seen everything. April was fairly quiet, but he kept a good ear out. He saw her go upstairs and come down with a knife. Also her attempt to leave behind a body double. Then Marie came, quietly following. He knows April through Marie. He's certain she's out for revenge. He retrieves a bag from the study, wedged behind some boxes. A quick look inside and a single thought. Would I be needing this? No, I don't think so. He puts it back, then heads out himself. April is a block away by this point. Marie just a few cars down herself. Franc takes cover behind trees. The three make a conga line and head out into the night, each unaware of those falling behind. This trek lasts for 30 minutes. Marie stays a block back. Franc, too, has made this decision, a safe distance. April arrives at a familiar streetlight. Not streetlight, it's merely a parking light. Every dim in the empty lot. Just familiar light will work. Light pole. Okay, there. Marie waits behind the corner of a grocery store just across the street. Franc has moved to the opposite side of the store. He has a clear view of the lot. Here he can see both April and Marie. It's 12:30 a.m., 30 minutes early. She can wait. She's already waited in the hospital and in Marie's home once another hour. That should be a separate sentence. Though, this time, she won't have to pretend to be in a constant daze. That was hard, but fortunately Marie wasn't paying that kind of attention. Alright. At least she won't have to pretend to be in a constant daze. Alright. April strokes the knife in her breast pocket. He's not getting away with this. You overcharged her, skimmed the supplies, and now tried to kill her. She doesn't know what that stuff was, but clearly Craig switched the product. Again. And has moved from asshole to attempted murderer. She thought that even he wouldn't be this dumb. April continues to wait, thinking of exactly how to drive this blade of justice into a chump devil. At 1 a.m. on the dot, Craig rounds his usual corner. He's humming a jolly tune as he saunters on up. Well, well, if it isn't my favorite customer. Come for more already? Well, I've got a supply, if you got the muns. A supply of what, exactly? I'm curious as to the name of the stuff you gave me last time. I don't think your boss man mentioned what it meant. Mentioned it when we met. Trade secret, un. So you don't know. Of course I know. But you don't need to. April reaches into her breast pocket. Craig thinks she's grabbing a bag of money. He reaches into his pocket for some focus-in. He's caught by complete surprise when she whips out the knife and charges him. In a moment, she's but a foot away, and the knife is a hair's breadth from his throat. Stunned, he doesn't say a word, but the fear seeps in. April's eyes are on fire. Hands. Craig's trembling hands shoot up and out of his pockets. He drops a couple bags of focus-in, eyes avoiding April's. Wait up, we're friends, aren't we? Friends? Spare me the bullshit, Craig. That dawnflower I was given. She heard the dawnflower, so she has to mention that. Taking a cut out. So she knows it's dawnflower, and I make it known that she knows. So... clearly Craig switched product. Alright, there we go. And that deals with... okay. That dawnflower I was given is quite deadly. 4 ounces to kill. 3 I received. I thought at first you skipped me again, but I know the boss man, the cowboy, wouldn't waste someone like me. So you gave me some other substance, this dawnflower. But you did hold back some. I guess you figured I'd keel over with just that much. Please, Craig, you know I can handle stuff well. No. I can handle drugs well. Do you think I'd bite it with just that much? You insult me. Not only are you damn dumb, but you're stupid. I didn't. April presses the knife a little into Craig's throat. A small trickle of blood seeped down the blade. Craig, let's talk about this. Who would give someone such a dangerous and deadly drug? Who would want me dead? I've got a lot of cash about to come in. The boss man will make quite a lot off of me. And you as well. Except you have a tiny, itty-bitty temper problem. I saw enough of the other night with the cowboy, my hero. In fact, you pushed me into him. Quite a violent display, and so very unprofessional. The masked man. Now he is a true man. Oh, it's hurting my stomach talking like that. I promise you, I didn't do anything. I gave you everything he gave me.
After all the shit you've pulled on me, a shortage of supplies, forcing the price up, a lie, some of the focus in turning to sugar, how mysterious. You know, after the cowboy gave you a good talking to, you must have reasoned, very logically, that it's all my fault. You're not an imbecile with a short fuse, no vision beyond the next 2 seconds, and no idea of the powers you mess with. I'm just some bitch who tried to get you in trouble with your boss. I deserve to die, a right end to a loyal, wealthy customer. You tried to remove a pain in your side. My side's burned after taking that dawnflower. It wasn't the dawnflower's fault. It turns out I'm allergic to it. What do you think of that?
If I wanted to kill you, why would I show up here? If our meets were over...
Dude, hold up the act with the cowboy, of course. Or maybe you have a new customer in this time slot.
I never mix sites.
Like you never mix sugars with drugs.
That was a mistake. I apologize.
You're not only saying that because your life's about to be snuffed out.
Oh, that hurt my eye for some reason. Alright. April's grip tightens, knuckles whitening. The blade wobbles slightly from the tension. Craig briefly believes it's from nerves, but April's eyes stare right through him. They're vicious and hungry. He can feel her about to thrust. Every one of his brain cells gets to work, firing off, searching for any way out of this. His eyes glance over April's shoulder. Is that a friend of yours? Just about anything Craig said would have fallen on deaf ears. However, this in particular struck a chord. April snuck out of the house, but it is possible that Marie came to check on her. Did she notice the fake? If she tried to tuck in body double, she would have seen through it. She'd definitely do that. The thought happens in a brief moment. Happens in just a brief moment. She believes for this briefest of seconds that Marie is behind her, enough to turn and look over her shoulder, a single lapse in judgment. No one. There's nobody behind her. A moment of confusion. That's all Craig needed. The instant April's head is turned around, he steps back and grabs April's knife hand. Channeling his 3 karate lessons from 15 years ago, he manages to twist April's wrist, breaking it. A scream of pain as the bones twist the wrong way, blood vessels pinching. April nearly falls to the ground, but still barely holds on to the knife. This was his attempt at disarming the knife, but this may work out. It may work out better for him. Craig's brain realizes it's within reach. He grabs it. Now in control, he pulls April forward, tugging on the broken wrist, holding the knife to her face. His fear is gone, replaced with adrenaline. He's on top now, and he'll remain here. Of that he's certain. A smirk of confidence before his brow furrows and face reddens. He doesn't speak quietly, instead opting for an ear shout. You think you can threaten me? You fucking joking bitch, I'm the man here. You stay put and beg for your life. April, now recovered from the ruse, but not the wrist injury, shows a brave face. Her knees betray her true feelings, an uncontrollable shaking. The lip quivers, tears form but do not yet fall. She tried to exact justice on a murderer, but failed miserably. She shouldn't have left. She should have told Marie everything. But her pride, her stupid pride. I'm going to italicize that. That should be stressed. Her stupid pride. She doesn't respond to Craig immediately. He's going to kill her anyway. He already tried with the drugs. The knife's just quicker. Not going to say nothing. Think you're brave. You look smarter than me. Well, let me tell you something, little missy. There ain't no one going to miss you. You'll be forgotten. Just another body floating in the bay. April thinks of Marie, Bea, Kevin, the 3 closest in her life. Craig is so full of shit. Some energy returns to her, blood now pumping. The pain subsides, eyes not as lit as earlier, but still smoldering. Her feisty attitude pushes through, fighting against this monster. I have friends, unlike you. April spits a good wad in Craig's face. He didn't anticipate her to fight back at this point. It lands right between the eyes, a dead shot. The goo drizzles down his nose, the cheek, and off the side. He's taken aback, but doesn't lose it yet. He's just a washed-up junkie, no threat. And if only I knew who they were, I could mark 'em up worse than you. Not that it's possible for such an ugly bitch. But I have a special kind of hatred for you. Your friends, I'll just cut up their face, make 'em real purty. But you, I'm gonna stab so much you'll be a sticking for mulch. Craig tosses April to the ground. She slams onto her butt. Before, she had strength, but the sudden impact drives it all out. The fear now paralyzes her. A broken wrist throbs at her side. This is her end, she thinks. Killed by a loser dealer having a hissy fit. So unlike how she imagined she'd go. In a big house, filled with expensive antiques, breathing her last in a grand bedroom, her dog beside her, whimpering for his master. That's how it should have been, but instead, she's gonna bite it to this loser. Craig raises the knife, ready to release all of his tensions from the last few weeks. Crunch! The man squeezes his legs together, grunting in pain and wheezing. Nearly enough of a shock to drop the knife, but he still loosely clenches it. A body crashes onto his back, arms wrapping around his neck, legs kicking behind him, shoes falling to the ground. Marie! Marie has dick-kicked this villain, and is now trying to wrestle him to the ground. The damage to the man's groin is certainly helping. He wobbles from side to side. He attempts to shake her off, but keeps losing balance, slamming into the post. He quickly turns and backslams the light, knocking the wind from Marie. April attempts to stand and help, but her legs won't move. Craig slams Marie again, this time knocking the woman free from his back. She falls beside Marie, who manages to hold on to her friend with a extremely shaking hand. Craig stands before them, panting but recovering. Marie, why? Marie sits up, despite the injured back, looking at her friend, and resting a tender hand to her cheek. April touches it and looks at Marie, then pulls back away and a mighty strike. April's stunned while Marie's eyes stream tears.
We're best friends. Why didn't you just tell me? We could have done something.
I couldn't if I got you mixed up in this world. I never forgive myself.
What's the word of difference between friends?
April can't hold it in any longer. Her feelings flow out, matching the drops from Marie's eyes. The paralysis gives way briefly to shaking. Her voice cracks under the stress. I'm sorry, Marie. I'm still sorry, Marie. I couldn't focus on my study. How did I talk to her again? I keep forgetting this. I couldn't focus on my studies. I needed help. I should have gone to you, but a friend of mine gave me a pickup. I learned it was called focusing, and we could set up a meeting with a dealer. And it's been like this for years. I always took focusing in moderation, in tiny bits. I never got addicted, but I became paranoid of what would happen if I stopped. Could I keep up this act through a job?
Oh, April, you got through school. You got that degree. And all on your own. You don't need this stuff anymore.
This crap anymore.
You can leave it alone. You can call on your friends. You can...
But I stole from Kevin. I took hundreds from him. I'd take from you if I could. I know I would.
You'd pay me back.
Sniffling heavily.
Yeah, I would, but I shouldn't. You don't need to ask for me. I know you're good for it.
That's not all. After meeting his boss and learning Craig was skimming on me, I got a deal for better stuff. Not just to help me, but make me feel good. It's special. I had crossed into a true drug addict. I just wanted a reward. Then the job came and I took the stuff Craig gave me and nearly died. That wasn't my fault. The boss man gave me 4 houses to give you. He wanted you dead if anything. You'd want someone like you alive. He'd probably figured to follow him one day and get mail and try to get rid of you. Enough with the lies. He'd get a lot of money from me. Reese grasps April's face with both her hands and looks away. They look eye to eye.
April, that's enough. You're not giving more money to these people. We'll just leave them, bye, and they'll leave us.
Oh, no. Not after you slammed my jewels. Greg, please. Now you say please. No, not gonna happen. You'd be fish food by the time I'm done with you. The seals of the pier will gobble you up. And you, looks down at Marie, little Miss Ball Kicker, you're never touching anyone again. I'm taking your hands and your looks. None's gonna want to get close to you. I'm covering up like a circus freak. This is supposed to have 2 spaces here. Craig raises the knife once more. Not just April would meet a vicious end, but Marie too. Their lives flash before their eyes, and their bodies freeze in time. Marie thinks of everything she's endured. Her childhood, when her father left, and her stepfather stole from them. The years with Kevin, only to end with regret. The slog that became her life, the day in and day out at Joyce Coffee. She had lost purpose. The appearance of Franc, her savior. The 2 amazing years together. Why has she been so finicky as of late? Franc's been into weird things. No, he's a normal man. She's been cold. Marie recognizes this now. Cold to the man who does nothing but give to her. How could she be so uncaring, unloving? Is it because of Kevin, the fathers who left? This thought stays for a moment. Her big regret. She'll never get to repay Franc for all the kindness he's shown her. To end like this. April looks back upon her old self. College was rough, but she wanted the degree. The city needs a good engineer, and she was passionate. The learning center is there for a reason. Why not just go there? It would have been easy to get help, but she couldn't. Too prideful. Too weak in the mind. Hence the drugs, the self-help in a sense. Tuh. This crap was only a crutch, an addiction not of the body, but of the mind. She realizes her stupidity. A PhD means nothing if you're an idiot. Her pride bought a one-way ticket to the boneyard. I hate this obsession with critical. Where was I? And not just her, but her bestest friend in the whole world. How could she let this happen? Craig's a loser, but she's a failure. The 2 had their moments, the last they'll ever experience. Craig ponders for these few seconds. This isn't a murder, it's self-defense. April tried to kill him and her friend assisted. They're guilty of attempted murder, and they strike again. April is just that vindictive. No judge would sentence 2 beautiful women, unless it's to serve him drinks at the golf course. Craig will have to deal with this himself. Like Batman, a lone knight working when it's darkest, cleaning the streets of filth. And not today's Batman, the comics Batman. The gun should have stayed. It was the best item in his utility belt. The 3 hold here, each lost in their own thoughts. Time, however, must resume. Craig's hand grips the knife, his muscles tense, preparing for the blow he's about to make, ensuring April won't come back this time. He picks the spot. Her neck. She's been a real pain in the... Okay, now I think we're done here. Let's wrap this up, yes? Franc emerges on the scene, walking slowly towards them. He was just 30 feet away. How did they not notice? He claps all the way to 15 feet out, stopping just inside the dim light. Craig looks over his shoulder, but genuinely surprised there was another one. The 2 women look up at their hero. Oh, what now? Just a man having a leisurely stroll, and what do I find but a murder scene? And out in the public eye. Not the reddest move, I'd say. But Franc! Craig turns all the way around, assessing this new threat. The man's built. This is going to be an issue. Should he just run? Or out here? Wait, she just called out to him. So you know these harlots. Fiancé is a proper term, and I like the way she looks. A woman's greatest treasure is her beauty. If you'd like to scratch the one up, I'm more than willing to partake. Franc! Really, you should be stand now. Take April home. I'll deal with this ruffian. I've got a knife. You're unarmed. Do the math. I've done the calculus. Why? I've done the algebra. I've done the root of this equation. Fight you and free the damsels. A fitting deed for the prince. The man, all April's friends are psychos. Craig turns back to the women. They're already scrambled to their feet and have started to run for it. Son of a... Craig starters after them, but the soccer-trained Franc darts ahead, cutting him off.
Franc, hurry up.
I will join you soon, my dear. I can handle one little scrapper. I've survived countless soccer matches where the refs kept their eyes closed. So many friends in the wrong. Keep their eyes closed. Then I want justice as well. And all those fans upset when the team loses. Let's see. Let's keep their eyes closed. Alright, hold on. The fans righted. I'll return home shortly. No need to call the police either. This would end not well with for April if you inform them. Just a cab will do. Marie nods, acknowledging Franc's bravado. He's told so many stories defending himself against soccer fans in the wrong team. Surely he'll be able to do someone like Craig. April is able to speak, but gives one nod to Franc as well. The two flee, leaving just two men in the scene. Fine, fine, I'll just have some fun with you, then find where they live and kill April there. Now for the weird part. I can sit with that. What? You got a seat there? Well, let me in on a little secret, eh? I live Roy Rogers. What? You... that voice... Craig's jaw literally drops. The knife slips from his hand, clattering on the pavement. His mind stopped, eyes locked on the Franc. No, the boss man. Scene 5. The German cowboy. Franc stands there, hands on his hips as though about to draw a six-shooter. You see, we find ourselves in a bit of a tree. You done tried to mess up my ride. Now, nobody should go tearing up another man's mare. Sir, what? Of course. You're swimming in circles. Is this better for you? It is what wonder in the fools of this nation. So quick to trust a well-mannered foreigner who struggles to speak English. Craig stays silent, staring. His brain can't process what's happening. But that is not for interactions, yes? I keep this up with my fiancé, co-workers, everyone really. But with you, I can be free. Free to speak as I'd always dreamed. Just like the American shows I watched on the internet when I was a boy. Roy Rogers, Clint Eastwood, John Wayne, Macho Matt Dillon, Josh Randall. So much fun. Both what they did and the way they speak. So confident, so strong. I just love them to death. Alright, I have to adjust something in here. I'll keep that. So what are we doing now? We got some hair on the butter, your butter. You see, those drugs I gave you were sort of supposed to kill her, but allergic, that one is out of that field. Then, it's not. Oh, it is your fault. You see, the doc wouldn't have told us about her allergy saving her. Is she taking the whole boodle? Craig audibly gulps. She'd been dead on the spot. My problems have been solved. And I've lost the accent. That's unfortunate. Problem, sir? Well, you see, back to a certain property, April there felt up my chest. It was a strong feel, let me tell you. Any lady dropped just for a chance to grab onto me. But it seems she got a little too grabby. Think she remembered the other night, back when she nearly chewed gravel, but was dusted onto me instead. When she got a good full whiff my underplates. And that there shindig, I figured she'd realize who I really was. To be safe, I give you some dawnflower just to kill her. Just enough to kill her. Even told you she needed all, but you chose it again, didn't you? Get a bit for yourself, Craigie boy. Craig's eyes widen, unable to hide his guilt. His legs shake so much he falls to his ass. He struggles to speak, but can barely move. He looks just like a terrified woman. It is now he realizes just how much trouble he is in. Except he really doesn't, as Bossman's about to tell him. Now, we do have some solutions. I am a thinking man after all, and you are about to handle a part. Just kill April. Not in my home, of course. Never kill a sage hen in another man's coop. You just wait till she heads out to the prairie, then you give her a little wolf attack. Or maybe drown her. I'm not picky. It's dealer's choice. Well, now that you're telling me to. What's wrong, Gun Cold Feet? Come on now, where's that far from before? Granted, you're the cause of all the problems leading up to this. Does a shit stain like you would have any pride? Go ahead and convince yourself that she polluted you or something. Maybe refused your kettle prod like all the other nannies you tried. Craig is feeling a little belittled right now, and not by April, but this prick. He just shot a string of insults at him. He's nothing more than a German cowboy wannabe. How could this kid have scored a hot fiancée and a job as a supplier? Life's just not fair. So, you want me to kill her? Well, you're not listening, son? A little too owl-headed? Yes, sir. I was just making sure you wanted this money or dead. Son, money ain't everything. Exposure to the law, that's the problem. She ain't keeping this dry. With his protections or some shit. We'd be in the big pasture or the boneyard. Bone Archwood. Can I ask why not keep her alive? If we just give her a discount. Frank walks up to Craig and leans over, his face just 2 feet away. He raises a fist. Craig closes his eyes and turns away, cowering, one might say. Frank knocks on heads. Craig's head like a door. You all there, son? No, I shouldn't ask you yet questions. She'd buy, yes, but at what price? She'd be blackmailing me to get the stuff for free. I'm not giving away any of my hard-earned money to some junkie. Nope, killing her's for the best. Opens one eye. If you say so, sir. And I guess I'll head off out. Oh no, we ain't eventuated yet. What else is there? You fobbed her off taking that ounce. Remember the whole still alive thing? Yeah, honey fuck with me. And after we shot the shit. Craig opens both eyes, faces pale as a sheet, and slowly turns to the boss man. He attempts to lie, the only thing he can sort of do okay. I wouldn't. You really think your ballyhoo's gonna work on me? No, I mean, I just took a tiny, 1 whole ounce. An easy 300, you thought. Done flour is as fine as cream gravy. $1,500 a pop. That's highway robbery. Sorry, sir. Never do it again? Oh, I know. We're gonna shoot the shit again, and this time it'll stick. Ever hear of Jesse? Because he's been looking for some new land, and let me tell you, he's got a firm hand. Wait, sir. Frank grabs Craig's mouth, holding it shut in an iron grip. I can't have you airing those lungs this quiet night. Gotta stop that wobbling jaw. Craig is still processing all this. Even if he understood, he wouldn't be able to fight against the man. Frank sits down and throws Craig over his lap, face still grabbed. Take off your pants, boy. Craig quickly shuffles to take off his pants. The fear is taking over. The boss man isn't someone he should be messing with. He realizes this now, or so you'd think. He can't move the most freely in this position, but he's stopped his underwear is exposed in full. Frank lifts his other hand and slams it down on Craig's buttocks. A mighty slap rings to the night. Craig tries to cry out, but is muffled. He can't believe this is happening, and not even in the dungeon. Just a nice little talk, son. Nothing more. A little bronc and corking. You stole from me. You busted up a junkie into me like I was a dirt road. You ignored our first talk and stole from me again. You done nothing but spin yarn with me. Nearly got yourself killed, which could have led back to me. Worst of all, you now know my face. Lots of pickles, son. No, boy. You gonna crawl my hump. And I ain't no yellow belly. Craig attempts to explain himself, but can barely get any words out. In the most muffled sound possible, he speaks. Sure, I remember what's gonna happen. I'll do it like you said. We don't need to do this. Oh, but we do, boy. Yeah. Just don't listen. Craig, with probably nothing left to lose now, spurts out an attempt at defense. It wasn't my fault. You could have just stopped me if I stepped at people. And now if you traumatized my maiden, she'd never been the same. Seeing a white wheel horse die does that to common folk. I hadn't any choice. Now it was free to tell the sheriff about me. You're gonna work harder than a one-handed waddy. Till you're all namby-pamby. Craig's cheeks were once supple and firm, in his opinion. After the first dozen spanks, he could feel how red they became. The pain is now a constant, dull agony. The bruising must be really bad. He'll never sit comfortably again. One more plea, crying at this point.
Well, I'll listen to you this time, I swear.
To who? You've proven yourself a weasel. To everyone. Oh, that got louder.
I swear to
On your life. On your life. Craig pulls on Craig's face. Franc pulls on Craig's face, forcing the man to bend backward. Craig supports himself with his hands, but it doesn't prevent the strain on his back. Franc keeps pulling on Craig's head. And the man, boy, tries to go with it, but can only bend so far. Franc takes him just to the edge. Spine creaking. The cowboy looks into Craig's eyes, a cold, heartless stare. Just one whisper. "'Cause if April's not pushing up daisies by tomorrow night, I'm gonna give you a Texas cakewalk." Wink. Craig's heart sinks, never feeling such fear in his life. His arms give out. Franc lets go. Really? Letting Craig's chain slam on the ground. Alright. Do it this way. He bucks Craig off his lap and stands, no longer looking at the sprat. Franc does his hands and walks away, leaving Craig with his one last chance. Craig just lies there, injured both physically and spiritually. He's a much lesser man, a boy, as calls him. He isn't a much lesser man now. That term will never leave him. The nightmare's never quite going away entirely. It'll surge up every few months, 3 minutes and a half, and a lifetime of fear. Craig whimpers to himself, now alone in the dark. "I'm done with this business, boss. No Franc wants April dead. I can understand the feeling, but no more." Alright, we're gonna do this. Ellipses. Craig's already fragile self-esteem has been shattered. Too many smartasses in his life. Now, finally, he truly understands how dumb he's been. "I'm such an idiot. A terrible liar. My words only work on junkies. I also thought myself better than everyone else. Smarter. I'm just a big idiot. Skimming off the top was a terrible idea. Someone's going to notice eventually. Why didn't I realize this?" Craig tries to turn over onto his back, but can't. Too painful. He gets to his side and stops there, draping an arm over his head. He stares at the stars, trying to take his mind off the staggering pain of his butt cheeks. April's on her own now. She'll free herself from the drugs, as I'm about to be. Good. 2 people who shouldn't be in this world are going to make their escape. I don't know about her, but I'm out of this state. I have to get as far away from Franc as I can. People like that go on business trips all the time. You'll find me if I don't disappear entirely. I'll just swing by my place, grab some essentials, and leave tonight. Craig staggers up. He slowly walks to his car, so many blocks away. What should I do? Maybe Iowa? That's pretty far, right? A state or two? I'll drive however far I have to. And not speed. I've heard people getting pulled over for that and getting caught with drugs. Well, not me. The world's looking at better, smarter Craig. Yes, I'll go to Iowa. I'll become a used car salesman. A good, honest living. Craig stumbles onward, thinking of new possibilities. Whatever his future is, it's his own. He departs from the story, never to be seen again. April, meanwhile, will stop with the drugs. She was never physically addicted. After that close call, mostly because Marie got involved, Though mostly because Marie got involved, she will no longer depend on such things. She's going straight. In shame, she can't stay with Marie anymore. The next morning, she's taken to Kevin's, who will let her stay as long as she needs. Her wrist is taken care of. She informs her employers that she was hit by a car, so will work from home for the time being. Alright, that deals with the private party. And now we get the engagement party. Yippee. Scene 1. Alone in the kitchen. It is May 28th, the last day of Carnival. The streets are colorful and wild with dancing, laughing, eating, drinking, playing. Fun for all. While Carnival is lighting up the streets, one home is taking in guests for a very special party. Today is Marie and Franc's engagement party. Engagement anniversary. It is 1 year today that the two engaged. Two friends live. Why is that double-spaced? Two friends, their friends flood the living area, gifts piling on one table. Snacks disappearing from another. The furniture has been moved to the sides of the room, making a wide open space. Talk at Night's the first floor. It is a zoo of voices. Franc is down here, greeting everyone and adding his own laughter to the mix. Upstairs, a woman works alone, setting up the bar. She tries to arrange the many gifted wine bottles, but is struggling. This is the last of the party setup, and she's been left to handle it on her own. So here toils Marie, who should be downstairs, greeting her friends. She's not happy with this, but someone has to do it, and it might as well be her. Together would have been faster, but Franc's right. Someone has to handle the guests. Very few have come up this way, most choosing to stay below and talk before drinks. Those who venture this way greet Marie and offer to help. She politely turns them down. This is a task her future husband gave to her, so she must fulfill it. Julie is the next to come up, somehow with an empty light glass. Did she bring her own?
The bar's almost ready. It'll be just a few more minutes.
Dear, please, you haven't sorted the hard and soft liquors. The glasses are all mixed up, and you're clearly rushing without a clue. You're going to knock something over, shaking so much. Step aside, let the expert take over.
Julie walks up next to Marie and quickly and shockingly efficiently organizes the drinks, glasses, and stools. She even sets up a water bowl for those who want to come down. Marie helps in whatever little way she can, but no one can match Julie when it comes to drinks.
The vodka and rum go here, with a few bottles of soda and a half dozen glasses. I don't think many of them will go for the harder stuff, but this should suffice. So this should suffice. The blender should be on its own with a bag of salt and tall glasses. Not too close. Not with a shaking blender in a drunk hand. We don't want any broken glass on the floor.
Marie watches in awe as Julie saves the day. It's like they're at work. Julie can rush order just about anything, multitask, and keep everything neat and organized. She couldn't have asked for a better shift partner. Despite bringing glass to work, she's never gone drunk or even buzzed. Julie is a responsible drinker, only let herself go at parties. Even then, she sticks close to the table and can stop herself from drinking more. A strong-willed, free-spirited, responsible young woman. This is Julie.
I'll just finish up here and try to give it a test drive. You can head downstairs now, hun. There's people waiting for you. Why are you up here in the first place? This is a man's job.
Frank decided he should be the one to greet my friends.
Huh. It's good of him to take on the job. He's not actually friends with anyone down there, is he? Is that maybe those three I don't recognize? Whatever, you can join him now, I guess.
He's better suited for it. I'm glad he volunteered. Thank you, Julie. The bar would have taken forever.
Marie, it's my pleasure. With everyone bringing their own bottle of something, of course you couldn't handle this alone. Leave the bar to me. If people aren't smashed in 5 minutes, this isn't a real party.
Snort laugh.
Right, see you down there.
Marie smiles at Julie and heads downstairs. The voices and laughter are still building up. A thought comes up halfway down. She stops. Franc could have helped her with the drinks, but then the party wouldn't be as lively as it is. Marie feels guilty for being upset earlier. Franc is a good man. She's misjudged him so much over the last year. He's the same as he's always been. She's been feeling used and unloved. How could she have been so foolish? He saved her in April the other night, taking on an armed drug lord on his own. He risked his life for them. The least Marie can do is reevaluate her feelings. After Kevin, she was in a pit of despair. She couldn't trust any man. Then Franc came and swept her off her feet. He's been amazing to her. The bumps she's experienced during the engagement are just fleeting moments of paranoia, spurred by a previous experience. Franc is different. He's better. The best she can hope for, and more than she deserves. As Mom has said, relationships have hiccups. Couples fight. Sometimes they need to be apart and refresh. Kevin was an anomaly. Never having a disagreement or fight is strange. He also cheated on her. Thinking this, Marie hearts turned, hurting. That's in the past. It's long gone. She won't hold that against him any longer. He said it was a mistake. She knows he means it. Or does he? Is he luring her into another false relationship? Has their time together been nothing but a ploy? The contradicting feelings twist her insides. Her head spins. She grabs the banister, sagging down on the stair. She sits leaning against the wall. He's been up sweet, just like always. Surely that's not a scheme. The old feelings are reigniting, the bond reforming. This isn't good. Here's with Franc now, and Kevin may have been manipulating her. But it did not work out with the other woman? Does he date multiple women at once, telling each of them that they're his one and only? He's been so kind these last 6 months. He's been there for her, but she's also been doubting Franc for no good reason. Marie feels queasy. She's completely torn. Is Kevin untrustworthy in trying to get her back in his life? Was the cheating truly just a mistake? Does he really regret it? Put the really here. So it's not next to another R word. Is that why he's been so caring? Loving? No. Stop thinking about this. Marie pushes these thoughts out. This is her 1-year engagement anniversary to Franc. Franc, the man who fought a scumlord to save his fiancée and her best friend. Kevin can't even compare. He wasn't even there. Yes, Franc is her love. There is no doubt. Marie spends a few minutes breathing and thinking about the good times with Franc. She immediately goes to last year's Carnival. It was a dream, something to re-experience on their anniversaries. They couldn't this year because of the party. But next year, surely. Maria's unease dissipates. She stands and continues down the stairs. She can hear the blender in the kitchen and some whisk shakers. Julie's going to get everyone drunk. It's a joyous occasion, so why not? Marie finally arrives on the scene. Scene 2 of the party. Marie finally arrives on the scene. Franc is a few groups away from his friends. He's nearly finished the meet and greet. Time to do her rounds. First off is Bea, standing on her own by the food table, searching for something good. Marie walks up beside her and picks up a cocktail weenie.
A weenie for the lady?
No way. I'm not putting that into my mouth.
Is that what you told your boyfriend?
Shut up. You know no one's ever complained. If anything, I've been praised on my technique.
You'll have to share sometime.
You have your own personal fiancé.
I didn't mean that.
The two friends chuckle, passing more innuendo between each other. Bea appears again in the refreshments, a disappointed look.
Where's the fruit platters?
Franc thought there should be more variety.
There's so many fruits in the world, and hundreds of ways to prepare them. How are the pretzels, bread dips, and weenies better?
I don't no, it's his party, too. He can choose the food. The pretzels were big-headed April's,
Almost everyone was drunk.
and the food worked right for them. Now they can choke on these toothpicks.
Oh God, I remember that. How could I forget?
Amber recovered. She only half swallowed it.
I swear, people don't consider the harm these little things can do.
More than a drunk on his own. Speaking of which, Julie's manning the bar.
Oh no, everyone's going to get smashed within the hour.
I don't think so. She's quite responsible with this stuff. I don't think she's going to serve someone who's had too much.
Really? Sounds like you really warmed up to her.
I've always been warm. Besides, I think I misjudge a lot of people.
Didn't you know Frank was a hero? A real cowboy, that one.
All right, April.
Yep, told me the whole story. Quite the cow wrestler you got all to yourself.
He is. I'm the luckiest woman on the prairie.
I bet he's even fiercer when drinking. A real ballroom brawler.
Maybe. I've never seen him drunk. I don't see him drink much, if at all, actually.
Then we'll be the sober trio.
We'll take the party by storm. Sweeping up all the weenies and maybe playing darts with the toothpicks.
You're on. But first, you have to get other people to greet. Don't let them go without the star for too long.
They've already met 1 star, but we're Geminis.
Then get to it. I'll start amassing the darts.
Marie moves on to the next group. They greet, hug, talk, laugh. This is quicker than with Bea. Marie has many friends to greet in so little time. She manages to finish up with 5 groups by the time Franc has finished his rounds. Completed his rounds. Before she can continue, Mom approaches, like everyone else. She's holding a glass. Her choice is wine. Good, since she can't hold in her liquor. Alright, I'm gonna check something real quick. That's the wrong button. Just a moment. I don't think I labeled. No, I did. Okay, that's fine.
Marie, my dearest child, I'm so happy for you. All this is for you. You and Frank, the destined pair.
Mom is so weak with drinks that it only takes half a glass to do her in. Hers is mostly empty.
Thank you. I'm happy you're here. How's the wine?
Wonderful. The Chardonnay easily trumps the port. Your friends have good taste. I can't imagine how the martinis are. That Julie is a godsend. My stomach would burn with just 1 ounce of that stuff.
She's a dear. A good friend.
All your friends are good people. Franks are amazing too.
Yeah. In time, maybe they'll all be friends with us.
Then up to it. They're so shy, holding on their own corner. I wouldn't think professional negotiators would be this withdrawn.
Maybe they are secretly very shy, and everyone seems to hold some indescribable secret.
Well, it's a friend's job to find it. To earn the right to hear it.
You know, I have my own secret I've been keeping for the last few days.
Oh, am I good enough to hear it?
Always.
Marie gathers herself. She is usually very open when talking about her friends, but this is different. This is her own thing, her own effort. Never did she think to try this, but went for it. Now is the time to reveal her big news.
You're looking at the new manager of Joe's Coffee.
Marie, that's amazing. I knew he'd see right.
The various friends nearby pat April on the back. She hears congratulations from all directions. Marie didn't think they'd hear her with the uproarious amount of talking and drunken laughs, but she's glad. It really falls over her.
Thanks, all of you. Today marks the start of my life with Frank and my new career as a manager. This is truly a remarkable day.
Marie tears up. Oh, happy. Is this what it feels like? It's been so long It's been so long It has been so long since she last felt this way. There's so many S's in this one. It's been a long time since she last felt this way. The last was with Kepdo, let's not think about that. Only thoughts of Franc. Like when Franc... well, she'll continue with this another time. Marie moves on to the next group of friends, who word quickly spreads around about her promotion. Scene 3. Franc and friends. The party is kicking into high gear. Everyone holds a drink, whether wine, cocktail, martini, margarita, or their concoction. Julie finally makes her appearance, holding a bottle of wine. Classic. She's greeted by cheers and claps, everyone complimenting the grifted bartender. She readily joins in the festivities. Bows, readily joining the festivities. Marie is still roaming about the room. Franc is with his friends, doing their usual thing. Is that why I see many dippin' ladies? Chuckles. It is, my friend. They do enjoy the sauces. Don't forget the wine. Looks like everyone's having some. Where's my glass? You left it at the quarterfinals table. Oh, you didn't just go there, Mr. Tripper. I'm comfortable with it. I lost fair and square. It's more laughable that you thought you could beat Franc. I like letting him dream. They can't all have sheep. In this case, it would be the girlfriends of decades past. I've had at least one. How is married life, Sean? Have their husbands found out yet? Kayla isn't married, as it turns out. Though she does want kids. Shame you're impotent. Can you stop deflecting to me? It's a man's pride. Pride in having no army of warriors at beck and call. I'm a one-man army. On an empty battlefield, where do you get off with Kayla? Let me tell you, she is feisty. I've learned so much. There you get the ball to come back at me. Rip them straight off her. Oh, these? I found them in the dumpster behind Hillhog's Bar. Isn't that your old hangout? Back to the important topic. The drinks. I see margaritas. I didn't think this was going to be that kind of party. Julia's doing, no doubt. She is given a grand ovation. Every hand here is holding her child. So upstairs, then. Good. Go get us something, Sean. You got it. Heads up. That's not right. You asked him. I'm sure he won't give you a glass of piss. I am not touching anything he gives me. It is all right. He's not going to poison you. That decision is mine alone. Really, you two plotting something? Giving orders? It's like you're a manager already. Soon, I'd imagine. The promotion is right around the corner. One of Marie's friends leans over, nearly stumbling. Rachel has something to say, albeit a bit slurred. Isn't it great? Maria, the manager. You're quite the bear. Franc freezes up, his smile fading to a stoic face. His friends turn, all taken by surprise. You have heard. You're speaking about the promotion I am soon to. You're looking at a new assistant manager of mine. I was thinking more of regional manager. I was thinking more of a regional manager. I can hope. Oh, I thought you meant Marie. She's also one of, all fancy it up and go. She's got a patchy soon. Better keep up. Leans back away. So now you're a manager couple. You got yourself a good one. I thought she was just a barista. Yes, she's just a barista. Well, she's been with Joe for years. Since he started out. She knows everything about the business. I suppose you wanted help and asked her. Leans back in. She asked herself ever to be so forward, so daring. You must have docked her good. Leans back away. Your charisma is infectious. Can you spare some my way? Sure. Yes, Sean is taking a while. I think I will check on him. Make sure he's not spiking my drink. What could he possibly do with it? He could add mustard or something. Franc, but make sure he's not doing something funny. Franc just nods, facing away. Lost in thought, thrown into an unpleasant place. Marie has been promoted, and to a management position no less. Wasn't she happy making his coffees? Did he not provide her enough to stay as a barista? He needs a good drink, something hard. Franc walks up into the kitchen to see Sean adding a bit of water and a touch of sugar to one of the wine glasses, likely for Dominic, to make it taste like something's wrong. However, that is a little concern now. Frank walks up and grabs a bottle of tequila. Never tried this stuff, but now it's as good a time as any. Julie walks around with an entire wine bottle, so this should be fine. He chugs one big gulp, sits and pours a glass of wine. Just a nod to Sean, who reads the vibe and finishes up. Back downstairs, Julie is hanging out with someone new, Marie's mom. Julie's glass is empty, and so is Mom's. She refills both of their bottle. The two start on their third glass.
Thanks, Julie. I hate to borrow some of yours. I should go upstairs. That's quite all right. I'm always happy to spread the joy of the drink. Is that why you work at Joe's? You satiate the thirst of so many. No, actually, I just prefer the daytime hours. My drinking isn't, as you expect by now, harder drinks. Should work at a club. They'd pay well. Too many of those are hitting on me. I want full control of who I grant that pleasure. That's a good idea. You keep yourself on top. Don't let some drunk bastard ruin your life. Experience? 2 failed marriages. Both saddled me and Marie, and with debts. I thought Frank was dealing with that. Debts were handled long before Prince Amazing came along. Had to sell a bunch, and I had to work 2 jobs. Marie pitched in as well. Debts are gone, but the sting is still there. 2 bad ones, and you've made it to marriage. And they made it to marriage as well. They die or ditch. Left without a word. Mongrels, both of them. Julie places a tender hand on Mom's shoulder, speaking in a standing voice. I'm sure they're in Vegas now. I bet right this very moment they're having their thumbs smashed to smithereens. You think so? For sure. People like that can't stop. They're going to get their comeuppance, sooner or later, if not already. And who better than a casino boss punishing 2 terrible cheaters? Sniffs. Thanks. That cheered me up a bit. That's what I'm here for. Get the party rockin', the laughter a-crockin', and the heart a-comin'. Then let's talk. Anything. Marie, let's talk about my daughter. She's a good woman. A bit of the plain sign, but good. Oh, she's no plain. I can guarantee that. Oh, she's been trying things in the bedroom. Don't we all? Nah, this time it's a spot of roleplay. So, jailer and prisoner, millionaire and maid, park ranger and bear. I've heard of people dressing up like animals. Sounds fun. I've done the middle one with my husband. He was so exciting. And Marie's now joined in. She's been tentative about it, the dressing up and playing. She'll get into it. Everyone does. I personally prefer a lonely barista works tirelessly at a coffee shop. Then a handsome European man comes in, sipping her from the endless toil. We break the cash register and have lots of hot coffee. Frank's already done that. My daughter... Wait, really? He saved her from the depths of despair. Not the register, no. Same. I'd like to. I'm sure someone will come for you one day. Maybe I should play the desperate housewife looking for a few kicks. Think I have an apron somewhere. Maybe I should tell Marie about this bear thing. Maybe. Dressing up is always fun. I wonder how much her friends have done. Now, that's a good conversation topic. Julie heads off to talk up Marie's friends. Topic is erotic roleplay, yes or no? And yes, if yes, what of? Julie doesn't say anything about Marie and Frank's business, but that doesn't help. As they share their spicy stories, the conversation naturally turns towards the 2 hosts. They must have their kinks. What's their style? Thus, the rumor spreads. Soon everyone will think about this part of Marie's life. Scene 5. Dominic's Truth. Dominic has peeled away from Ted. There's no group if there isn't Frank, and he's been up there for a while. Sean did return with a glass for him. He had Ted taste test the drink. Allegedly it was fine, but when he took a sip, something tasted off. Sean was just beaming at him. He did something to this. There's no telling what. Dominic excused himself to go get some Jacks. He dumped the drink in a nearby plant. Best not to take the risk. Best to not take the risk.
He's now at the food table, perusing the dips, and are there really only 3 loonies left? Frank should put out more. Whatever, dip it is. While he's here, Marie approaches, looking for us to try some dip herself.
Dominic, is it?
Yes, Marie, then.
Good to finally meet you.
Well, we're only here for Frank and to see his fiancée at long last. We've asked so many questions about what you look like. You're the spitting image of what we were told.
He does have a keen sight, and it's fine you're just here for him. It's a party for both of us. Though, was it really just you 3?
What do you mean?
Where are his other friends?
Dunno, he only hangs out with us.
Does he really only have 3 friends? He's so charming and amazing.
And busy, like he doesn't have time for anyone else. We all work together, so it works out. I have worked twice in here. Oh, we all... We're all on the same team, so it works out.
I mean, he can have other kinds of friends.
I don't know what to tell you. I only care that he's friends with me, and I guess the other 2. I don't care he hangs out with anyone else or not.
Okay then. Oh, right, how was the review meeting earlier this month?
A shit show. Linda loves to steal our thunder. I'd have given her a thrashing, but Ted stopped me.
Ted is the well-dressed one?
No, that's Sean, the rich boy of the group. He says that's proper for a party of this type.
It's casual dress, but I don't disagree with the tux.
He's a bit weird, but it's fun to jab at him.
Well, it sounds like you got through the meeting just fine. Good.
Did you think there's going to be a problem?
Well, you did email Frank a few nights beforehand. Panicking, he said.
Not me.
Not you?
Nope, we don't email either. Our phones have an in-office app. We talk through that. I don't even know his email address or phone number. Must be some other Dominic.
You sure? He said Dominic was in a panic about the meeting.
Did he? Well, it must have been some other meeting with some other Dominic. He has a good taste in people. Dominic's a good name. I'd like to meet this other one. Anyway, I've got a good assortment of dips here. Happy marriage to you, I guess.
Yeah, see you later, or something. Maybe I'll join you one night when you're out for drinks.
The other Dominic again?
What?
We don't go out for drinks, not at night at least. Maybe we'll have some after a game, but that's early evening.
You don't meet up every midnight, every couple weeks, back by 1:30 a.m.?
Marie, look. I don't know what you've heard. We don't go out late at night. We have lots of work to do. We don't email each other either. We have an app for that. Lay off the wine a bit and maybe we'll start thinking clearly. Dominic returns to the group. Marie is left dumbfounded. She's certain Frank said Dominic was emailing him back and forth that night, worried about the meeting. If this isn't true, why was Frank up to 2 a.m. that night? Let us make it 2 a.m. straight. Actually, he does this every couple of months. What's he doing? No. There are... Alright. No, these are not healthy thoughts about the man she is to marry. She'll ask him later. A misunderstanding, that's all this is. And the late night thing, he does have other friends. He's drinking with them. It's good that he has lots of friends. Shame only 3 come to this party. Scene 6. Frank's reveal. The party is rowdy and loud. Just about everyone is drunk without question. Dominic is enjoying a margarita made by himself. Sean some wine, and Ted a cocktail. Mom is talking up some of Maria's friends, and Julie has rejoined. They seem to be sharing a bottle. Even Bea is soused. Only Maria is clear, not even holding a glass. Frank returns from the kitchen, holding a glass of vodka tequila. The man's never really been drunk before. He prefers to stay in control. Learning about Marie's promotion, and to manager that, he's lost his cool, and now is burning his belly with a mix of the hardest stuff here. He stumbles to a group of people, joining the disheveled chat. He speaks in broken English, losing his poise. The group poses a question to Franc. This is the talk of the party, the burning question everyone's wondering about.
So, Frank, I hear Marie's a manager now. She's passed you up good, but I bet it's all this in the bedroom, eh?
Is it even manager intern? Maybe they do weed and weed whacker?
The good whack is a beautiful thing between husband and wife. I know my Herbert loves a good smack behind. Well, Frank, what is it? What kind of kinky stuff you two doing? We know there's a spanking. There's been a lot leaked. That's been leaked already. What I want to know are the get-ups.
Spanking? What is it? You're all wrong. I am not Frank blanks for a moment, the mixed drinks doing their work. He loses track of the conversation. He comes to as they continue to guess at the costumes, spanking, and other things. It is of note that all of this is a rumor. No one has officially said anything about what they do behind closed doors. Nothing has been leaked, just a whole mess of speculation amongst a very drunk crowd. Frank takes exception to the spanking talk. He is about to speak when he hears the same from afar, then more from over yonder. He now realizes that everyone is talking about the same thing. He is going to fix all of this. Frank walks to the edge of the room, near the stairs, so he can see everyone. He leans against the wall, taking a good swig of his drink and calls out, I hear you talking about, the stuff, the other things. You're all wrong. You're going to be what's wrong. The crowd swivels. Some stumble. A few fall. But all turn to their host. Marie, alone by the snack table, turns as well. She's never seen Frank like this. He usually just has a few glasses of wine. Whatever's in that glass he's spilling. She's relieved that he wants to clear up this business to the bedroom time. However, she should really be the one doing this. Frank's done so much for this party, she needs to step up and handle the situation. The soon-to-be wife, Marie, takes charge, moving towards Frank. She will support him, and together they'll clean up this rumor. She gets to the middle of the room when Frank speaks again. I do not spank, I did not hit her. I did not hit her. I make bad a doggy into a good a doggy. Marie sobs dead. Her eyes widen, lips quiver, legs lightly shake. Frozen in place, her mind blanks, hoping she didn't just hear that. Some of the partygoers turn to Marie.
Doggy? Oh, it's master and mutt. We were off by a mile. A doggy, yeah. Sounds cute. I love puppies.
I teach bad doggy be good. It misbehaves, I give doggy smack. Bad doggy. It then becomes good doggy, yes.
That's how you rear them. I raise litters. You have to be hard sometimes.
The crowd switches to talking about raising dogs. Some dwell on the kinky slapping between Marie and Frank. Marie's face is flush red. Eyes assault her from all over. Some groups laugh and joke about their private time. Marie's never felt so isolated. These are her friends, but at the moment they're nothing but wild hyenas, ripping and tearing at an injured fawn. She wishes April were here, or maybe Kevin. No, not Kevin. No more thinking about that. Bea's here. Where's Bea? Marie tries to scan the room, but can't with all the stairs. She glues her eyes to the floor and stiffly retreats upstairs into the bathroom. There she cries. Cries about the sheer embarrassment of all this, that they all know a portion of their privacy. She knows she's wrong to feel upset about what Frank does with her, his demands. She can't shake the feeling. It's wrong, just feeling this way. Still. This is normal couple stuff. This is just a part of healthy relationships. This is a part of a healthy relationship. Why can't she give Frank what he wants? Why can't she just play along? This shouldn't be embarrassing. Everyone does kinky things in the bedroom. Why can't she accept this? The guilt eats at her, and she can do nothing but cry. After another hour, the party nears its end. She's still in the bathroom, but better. Maria's resolved herself to be strong like April. April could handle a drug lord, and even try to kill him. She doesn't condone the killing part, but does revere April's bravery to do what she felt she needed. Marie will no longer question Franc. This is right. This is what she must do, for her own good. Scene 7. The Room. Night has finally come. The party has ended. Despite being drunk, most of April's friends are still level-headed enough to call a cab. They'll fetch their cars the next morning. For those who try to drive with a slight swerve, Julie stops them, calling a team of cabs. Everyone clears out, and now it's just Franc and Marie. Franc knocks the bathroom door. He's recovered somewhat, enough to speak normally. Despite never drinking much, Franc has amazing fortitude.
Quite a party, yes. You should have come out sooner. Julie hosted another contest of chest bumps. I won, of course. She's a tiger, that one.
Yes, she is. Franc,
Yes, my dear.
let's do that tonight.
Oh, I get to be a master again? So soon?
I'm just a lost little Pepper who needs a good master. Yes, that sounds right.
Listen, I'll get ready. See you upstairs.
Franc leaves for the study. He'll pick out a good one. Marie leaves the bathroom and heads up. She stumbles on the stairs. Her body is still not listening to her. This is something she has to do. A wife should support her husband. In her mind, she knows this. If only her body would stop complaining. On that note, her body does shake, as though in fear. It knows what is to come. Marie should be welcoming this. She knows she's pretty fucked up I have lost she's in here. She's pretty fucked up if somewhere she's still resisting this. I have 3 she's in the same sentence. I don't like that. It's pretty fucked up, but somewhere she's still resisting this. The perfect time together is being enjoyed by both of them. She'll force herself to like it. She has to. Maria arrives in the bedroom. She reaches into the closet and heads into the side bathroom to prepare. After a few minutes, Franc enters the room. He sits in Maria's chair, laying a newspaper on his lap, a nice stiff one. Here he waits for his little doggy. The bathroom door opens. No one seems to exit at first. No footsteps can be heard. No one seems to exit at first. No footsteps can be heard. The door opens yet further. A single white paw emerges, trembling on the floor. Then another paw, then a head. Big floppy ears hang off this costume. Marie's face partially obscured. Her knees follow, treading on floors. The door creaks closed as Marie kneels before her master. She attempts to make a happy face, tongue dangling. Inside she's dying, but she'll fix that in time. The doggy has emerged, but will she be good tonight? The doggy looks up to its master, panting happily. The master looks down with a grimace. He rolls up the newspaper, reaches out, and... That doggy! Doggy does not look until told! Marie's cheek bursts red. A hard hit. How could she have forgotten? It's the first rule. Look down on the floor until addressed. She feels like an idiot, and rightfully so, she thinks. Her gaze immediately drops to the floor, still panting, waiting for Master's word. Doggy does not appreciate what Master does for her. Master gives her a home, buys her what she desires, even a new house for Doggy's mom. What does Master get? Laughs. Laughs when drunken fools who think Doggy is better than Master. Does Doggy believe she's the Master now? Pah, I'm the Master, you are the Doggy. This promotion was a mistake. That Joe is an idiot and a bastard for giving a Doggy false hope. Marie keeps her eyes on the floor. Master is very angry tonight, understandably so. She didn't mean for all that to happen. She'll have to work hard to earn Master's respect back. Doggy remains silent until given permission to speak.
Doggy thinks she can make decisions with that master. Doggy went behind master's back. A betrayal. If Doggy had asked master's opinion, he could have told Doggy that being a manager is a big responsibility. More than a Doggy can muster. Doggy ignores master's feelings. All master wants of Doggy is for her to bark happily, shake her tail, and accept what she's given.
Man's best friend doesn't ask for much, so neither should she. Man's best friend doesn't ask for much, so neither should she. Alright, I have to fix that. Should Marie. A dog is happy just being near their master. It doesn't need anything else, especially some job that is ultimately unbecoming of her. Franc knows what it takes to be a manager, and a woman who can only follow is a crutch. That business with April could have been resolved sooner had she noticed her friend's plight. This is pivotal for a manager, the ability to see beyond what is in sight. Only a select few can achieve this to its greatest heights, and Franc's one of them. Marie Doggy thinks to herself, sitting idle, waiting for a master's command. This isn't something a manager would do. In the very back of Marie's mind, she knows that by giving in and submitting to him, that she's already lost. In those furthest reaches, she knows that he coerced her into this, slowly pushing her to go further and further, to this point of dressing up. Likely he thinks of her as a completely submissive person, and certainly the fact that she let herself get into the situation demonstrates her own weakness. Alright, let's separate some of these into sentences. These thoughts are safely stored away in a lockbox. They won't interfere with tonight. That's not what a good wife-to-be would do. That would make her a bad doggy. Doggy raises her paw to speak. Doggy may speak, but not look.
Doggy is very sorry for being bad. Doggy just wanted to be of use to master. If she were a manager, along with master, then maybe Doggy could help master.
Titan's newspaper. Master does not need Doggy's help. Not with anything. Master is perfect. There is nothing a Doggy can do to help him, except obey. All Master needs of Doggy is to be with him, at his side, his beck and call. Doggy would have been happy there, happy to be my Doggy. Master chose Doggy out of all the other beautiful dogs out there. Doggy was so lost, but Master saved her from her own darkness, didn't he?
Master saved Doggy.
And not just back then. Master saved Doggy a few nights ago, when Doggy ran away and was about to be euthanized.
Master always saves Doggy.
Master is pleased that Doggy wanted to be like him, to try to save someone dear. The fact, though, is that Doggy was foolish. Doggy was going to die. A manager wouldn't have gotten into that position. A manager would have called for help beforehand. A friend or perhaps the police. Something to keep her safe. Marie has a thought and spits it out without thinking.
Where was Master's backup?
A big slap to her face, the edge of the paper cutting her cheek. Blood seeps out, just enough to trickle a few drops in the carpet. She's never been hit this hard before. Stupid. Stupid, stupid. Why did she say that? This must be her inner thoughts trying to break free. She can feel herself wanting to lash out, to yell at this man for what he's said and done. Her body tenses, but she manages to quell these feelings. She's not supposed to feel this way. It's abnormal. This is just two fiancés having a talk. Couples fight. This is a fact. If she'd kept her mouth shut, he wouldn't have had to hit her. This is her fault. She knows this. If only her body and now her thoughts will obey. The manager isn't allowed to fail, for it spews doom for the company. Master has never failed in his life. Maria merely thinks of the soccer tournament, but manages to keep her mouth shut. And never will. Doggy couldn't even manage to keep an okay-looking male dog herself. It went for a fresher dog, one who wouldn't cause him strife. Now Master has Doggy. Now Master has Doggy, and he's starting to regret taking her in. Marie's insides twist at these words. Her face grimaces, nearly tearing. Franc grins. Still, she tries to continue, being very careful.
A manager cannot fail. Doggy has failed so much in her life, so much that she shouldn't have even thought of becoming one. It was impossible, a forlorn dream. She can't fix what she broke. Only a manager can. Managers can fix anything. Anything?
Marie thinks briefly that a manager should be able to fix problems. That's part of their job. That's part of their job, isn't it? She makes a quizzical face, one that Franc is not letting go. Doggy isn't wrong. A manager can fix anything. Well, Doggy cannot fix a thing on her own. Therefore, she cannot do the job, amongst many, many other reasons. Needing help is a crutch. The manager has this weakness. Marie's thoughts continue. Franc's company is basically a bunch of people helping each other. Certainly, he can't do his negotiations on his own. He's the help to his manager friends. Manager's very existence is to help. In fact, sometimes managers work together. Alright, his team must have joined up with others for some of those special tasks. For the crab night, for the soccer, Franc would have been given help of some sort, at least for the soccer tournament. Franc partakes of this weakness. Marie lets off a smirk, feeling better. Despite trying to avoid these thoughts, each smack brings them back to the surface. Not she wants to go through any of this, but the ideas just keep coming. Doggy is weak. Doggy needs many friends to feel safe. Master doesn't need any. Master is strong, smart, wise, and everyone loves him on sight. Master needs no one, but chooses to allow a few close. It is not weak to need friends. It's a strength. There are people you can call upon when you need help, and you will need them at some point. Managers must be able to make quick friends with representatives of other companies. They have to be able to reach out, make deals and connections, call in favors. It's these things that keep a company and the crux that will save a company, and the crux of being a manager. Marie's mind is on a roll. Her expression changes a little to that of a smile. A knowing one. Franc isn't pleased with this. Ducky thinks she knows better than Master. Ducky having a private conversation? Excluding Master again? Franc rips the paper and lets rip the strongest one yet. Ow. The sound echoes. The other cheek is now flush red. The entire cheek. No part was spared the strike. Marie's mind stops instantly. She looks down further to the floor, bowing over. She's such a stupid little idiot. All she had to do is keep her mind still and obey Master. She keeps fucking up. A real dog would have learned by now. She's so incompetent. Marie crushes down all the errant thoughts and the ever-creeping feeling of fear. This is just Master trying to teach her to be a good doggy. Doggy vows to not make this mistake again. Franc calms his voice, but speaks firmly. Master does not enjoy having to do this. Doggy keeps being a bad doggy. It is Master's duty to educate Doggy. Doggy nods, still bowing. Tears now streaming, as much as Doggy fights them back. Master has much more to say. Accepting help from others is a weakness. Allowing lesser beings to give help when it isn't needed, if it is to grant them a false sense. So beings to give help when it isn't needed, if it is to grant them a false sense of accomplishment, is okay. Never let them feel as though they are in full control. Just grant a little bit of power here or there. Do so, and they will be in your service like good little doggies. I did this with my managers. They are now my servants, people who need me for themselves to be successful. Need me for themselves to be successful. Doggy nods, sitting up a bit. One cheek starts to swell. The other has stopped bleeding, but the last smack flicks them out. There is now a dozen droplets on the floor. Doggy will have to clean up her mess later. Doggy has been given much strength from Master. After just a year with Master, Doggy was able to move past the fact that a former mate left her for a better one. Doggy made amends with him. Doggy would have never done this if it weren't for Master. For Master lifted her spirit from the gutter, enough so to reproach that dog. But Doggy needs to keep a level head about this. Trotting back to her old mate, one who betrayed her so easily, wasn't a move of strength.
To be clear, it took Doggy much strength just to do something quick. This is how powerless Doggy is. Doggy sits up all the way, nodding at almost every word. Inside, she's hollowed out. No feelings remain, just an empty shell. This is the way it should be, she thinks. Doggy is unfit to lead. Doggy really accepts help when she doesn't need it, and not even for an advantage. Never thinks to try to get more than what she's given. Doggy lacks aggression. She is too passive. Even being struck by a mere newspaper is all it takes to force Doggy to look down and weep. Doggy has failed this test of mettle, time and again. Doggy will never be equal to Master. But if she finally learns to obey completely, she can stay by his side. Master is not heartless.
Doggy will obey Master.
Doggy would sink Joe's coffee into a bigger rut than he's already in. Starbucks is better all around. He is screwed in the long run. You will just make his end even more excruciating, giving hope to the poor man. Have you no shame?
Doggy was foolish. Is foolish. Doggy needs more training from Master.
Doggy has learned the basics of how to behave before Master, but still has a rebellious streak. Master hopes that Doggy will learn from tonight. If not, then Master is still willing to teach Doggy. He will save her from herself. Even past his mortal coil, Master will still watch over Doggy.
Master? What does Master mean?
Master will ensure Doggy is safe when we both go to the deep furnace. When Master arrives and is granted his whip and home, Master will search for Doggy. Master shall be in a very prestigious position. He has put a lot of work to this end. Doggy is very confused at this point. The thoughts creep back in. Does he mean he'll watch over her in the afterlife? In hell of all places? This doesn't make any sense. Her face is puzzled, but Franc will explain. Everyone on this earth goes through hell. Heaven is a myth just meant to appease the masses. No one is good enough to get into such a place, so I take the opposite approach. I must dominate as many people as I can. I must attain great wealth and power. I must demonstrate to the powers below that I am fit to be a whipper, working to fix those who are unworthy of my position. This is why I work my muscles and why I strive for even grander things in life. I don't want to be amongst the sorry souls to be educated. Marie's thoughts run rampant. This explains so much. Why he is this way. Why he thinks this is normal. No, this is normal. What they do together is normal. This is just his reasoning for life. No different than any religion out there. More practical, perhaps. Yes, this is just what he thinks will happen. Nothing more. Marie just needs to sit there and listen to Master. Doggy pants. Ah, Doggy cannot wait to be with me. No fret, Doggy, for we have a long life ahead of us. After we have perfected our bond, and once we leave this plane, we will be truly together forever, as Master and Doggy. Doggy will love our mansion. I will be quickly promoted. I have a strong and experienced whipping arm, after all. Within the first few centuries, I shall rise enough to join the upper ranks of hell. Our lives will be perfect. I can hardly wait. Doggy feels uneasy, disturbed perhaps, that Master is insane normal. Doggy pushes the thoughts back further. Master is Master, and that is all that matters. Almost done. Master will give Doggy much love, attention, and lessons. These will be more strict than ever before. Hell is very different from Earth. Doggy will need to learn how to get by there. Doggy needn't worry, though. Master is very giving and patient. No matter how long it takes, no matter how rough it gets, he will teach you everything. After all, Doggy can't die a second time. Smiles. Franc gives Doggy a pat on the head and leaves the room, to put the paper back in the study. Now alone, Doggy nearly breaks down entirely. She's managed to keep herself together in his presence, but it's extremely difficult to push everything away. The tears spring forth, gushing. She holds her hands to her cheeks, looks at the blood in the carpet. Marie is extremely thankful to Franc for saving her from the darkness after Kevin. He's paying for her mom's new house. He saved her in April from the dealer. He's a savior, a good man. All she needs.
to do to please him is to obey. It is the best deal one could hope for, a true blessing. Be a good doggy and live this way from today onward. Easy. Marie keeps lying to herself in this way. Franc's actions are inexcusable and will likely be the death of her, but she's manipulated to think this way. Such is the power of the Franc and of the misunderstandings amongst her peers and Mom. If anyone had an inkling of what was actually happening, this would be a very different story. Marie's thoughts continue, and she heads into the bathroom to manage herself. At first, she was resilient to all of this, but feared immensely what would happen to Mom if she left. Franc would certainly stop house payments, sending Mom back into crippling debt. After the April thing, Marie felt like she misjudged Franc, that she was overreacting to this situation. Everyone loves the man. Clearly the problem is with her. She's been given another chance to fix her behavior. She's not going to throw it away. She gives in too quickly. She did with putting off asking Joe to be a menace with Franc. Yes, she gives up too quickly with Franc. He's such a good man and wonderful man. She never really gave him a chance. She and Mom will be well taken care of and happy. Tonight was rougher. Up to this point, he's only hit her once or twice, never drawing blood and never that hard. She has to be stronger, take in all the strength that Franc has given her, and be a good doggy. Oh, okay. And deals with proofreading that part. So we're good through part 6. Just 4 parts left. Then I move on to something weird, but that'll be dealt with next week.